What's up, team? We're going to go through my full day of eating, how I got in 225 grams of protein for about 2,500 calories. I'll go through how you can actually have gotten pretty much the same amount of protein for less calories, and then I'll give you all the foods that I ate, and I'll link them all up and give you all that good stuff as well. So let's go back to the beginning. Let's go through the meals. So I ate 3 meals today. I did leave out one food, which I'll show you in a second, but um, I had 2 training sessions back to back today, so this is my breakfast before them. I gave myself plenty of time to digest it, so I didn't eat it right before I went because it's kind of a hearty breakfast. But this is 4 whole eggs with spinach, a mild Italian sausage from Costco. This is, I think, 2 cups of lactaid cottage cheese, so lactose free. If you guys like cottage cheese and you can't have lactose because it makes you poop your pants, then this is a great option. I put some hot sauce and pepper on it, don't judge. And then I just had some Bush's baked beans. So if I have a long work day or a 2-a-day training session or something that I'm doing, if I just don't want to be thinking about food throughout the day, I'll generally eat a pretty hearty breakfast. I think this was almost 1,000 calories, so this is a lot. It's also the weekend. Sorry, nose is itchy. It's also the weekend, so this is the time that you would normally, or I would normally at least, sometimes eat just dumb bullshit that I normally wouldn't eat. And so usually if I allow myself to eat a nice big hearty tasty breakfast like this, it will help me to avoid eating just some dumb stuff that was kind of off plan. Like if I try and eat way too boring and clean like I do during the week, then sometimes this won't serve me super well. So things that I added that I sometimes wouldn't eat during the week are the sausage. It's like 250 calories, which is a lot. And then the baked beans as well. So overall, I got, quite a bit of fat in this meal. I've got really good protein between the cottage cheese. The beans even have some protein. I've got my 4 whole eggs, and then the sausage had some good protein. So great protein in the meal overall. Good fats, like I said, not a ton of carbs. So yeah, that was breakfast, nice and hearty, almost 1,000 calories. So next we had lunch. Lunch is a full pound of chicken thighs. I air fried these ones, but I usually grill them. So air fried chicken thighs, some jasmine white rice, and some black beans. This one was pretty boring. This is my lunch almost every day at work. If I don't have chicken thighs, I literally just sub out. I do like the Alex Hormozy method, so I just sub out some sort of protein and I eat like 1 pound of it. So I'm talking 1 pound raw too. So cooked up, the weight comes down, but it's 1 pound worth of it when it's raw. So chicken thighs, sometimes I'll have ground turkey, sometimes ground beef. One of my friends just told me that he does ground chicken, so we may try that out as well. But that's what lunch was. This was again around 1,000 calories because it was a full pound of chicken thighs and all that good stuff. So you can doctor this up with seasonings and sauces as you please, but just account for the calories as you go with that. And then this is what I had for dinner. So usually I'll try and keep dinner lighter, and I'll try and keep it further away from bedtime just to avoid digestive issues. I like to have a little bit of a lighter dinner if I can. If I'm going to be up late for some sort of event, then I may eat a little bit more just so I'm not hungry at the event. But this is my dinner, and this is pretty similar to what I normally have. So this is lactose-free Greek yogurt. I think it's 1 2/3 serving of whatever their serving size is. I'll show you what it is. And then I have a crushed up granola bar on top of it with some honey and cinnamon. So it gives it some texture and a little bit of carbs for bed. And yeah, so let's get into what breakfast was. So breakfast, again, baked beans, cottage cheese, eggs, mild Italian sausage, ketchup, spinach, 947 calories. So the overall for the day was 2,500 calories. This is not like very high calories for me. I'm like this morning, for example, I weighed in at 219 pounds. I'm 6'4". I train jujitsu 3 to 4 days a week, and I train in the gym usually 3 days a week. So that's basically 6 or 7 training sessions a week that I have pretty consistently. So for that many training sessions and my size, this is not very many calories. But I ate, we'll just say I ate like a silly goose yesterday. I had a gala for Anna on Friday night, and then I ate kind of like a goofball yesterday because I was hungover. So life happens. I'm not really trying to compensate for it. I just wasn't super hungry today, so I ate my normal foods. I just didn't add, like sometimes I'll have a bagel or something that pushes this up closer to 2,800 to 3,000 calories, and that's a little more normal for what I have on my day to day. So I had that for breakfast, and then we had lunch, which was again my pound of chicken thighs, white rice, white jasmine rice, 230, usually it's 230 grams of it, about 300 calories. and then my half a cup of black beans. And then finally for dinner, we had our lactose-free plain yogurt. So this has 1 1/4 cup. I don't know if that is just per serving because I had 1 2/3 of whatever their serving is. So this is Fage. I think that's how you say it, Fage. I have 1/3 of their container each time. It's about 300, around 300 grams of the Greek yogurt, whatever that amount is. So about 200 calories. The Nature Valley Crunch Bar, I had both of the bars in the little package, so it was 200 calories, and then I had 50 calories worth of honey, and oh, that's the food that I forgot. I had a cup of chocolate milk. So literally just 1 cup, 8 ounces of Fairlife chocolate milk. So I had quite a bit of dairy, all of it lactose free. So if you guys need lactose-free dairy options, hit me up. That's my true skill in life, is finding foods that I can still eat that taste good that have no lactose in them. But yeah, I think that was pretty much it. Then we get into the full macro breakdown: 225 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, which is not super high, but I wasn't gunning for anything. 90 grams of fat, pretty normal. And then yeah, I had fiber from the beans and some of the veggies that I had. And then yeah, if I'm gonna push calories from here, I would probably do more carbs just because of like the amount that I'm training. And then this is my protein breakdown for the 225 grams for the day. So 77 for breakfast, 102 for lunch, and then 45 for dinner. Again, just easier on my digestion to do lower calories, lower protein for dinner. And I go throughout most of my day pretty satiated because I already had almost 180 grams of protein by the time I got done with lunch. So the other nice part to that is, like, you could go lighter on the breakfast to cut out the Italian sausage and the baked beans, and you'd cut out like 400 calories off your breakfast, but you'd still have most of the protein. So you can get through breakfast and lunch, be at like 160 to 180 grams of protein. And then you're already pretty close if you have work dinners or if you're traveling or whatever in the evening. That allows you to eat a lot more freely and already have a ton of protein in for the day and be really full. So those are just some good options for if you're looking for some high protein meals. Again, there's lots of ways that you could cut things out. Some of the things that I would do, go back to my meals really quick. So I said for breakfast, you could take out the Italian sausage, which I normally don't have. I just had one left in the house, so I cooked it. You could just have the eggs and cottage cheese, which is what I normally do. And you could cut out the beans. You can also add a Fairlife, like 30 gram of protein shake to that if you really want to up the protein. That's like 150 calories. So you're crushing it on protein if you do that. So that's how you can make that meal lower cal. With the chicken thighs and beans, you could switch out a lot of things. The chicken thighs aren't really high in calories. They're just still just chicken. But you could swap out the rice for veggies of whatever. You could have mixed veggies, whatever veggies you like, or some sort of salads. You could have the chicken salad with beans on it, or just cut the beans out if you want to, but keep some sort of greens or like fiber or veggie in there. I'd recommend. And then for dinner, like, you can do the Greek yogurt and you can add berries instead of all the granola and honey. You could just do berries and honey or just berries and some stevia or something like that to sweeten it up. So lots of ways to do that. And then, yeah, those Fairlife protein shakes are like 150 calories and 30 grams of protein and are lactose free. So those are another great option to add in some more protein if you need to. And then, like I said, usually I'm adding in more carbs or more calories on my normal day to day of just, eating a little bit less today because I wasn't as hungry. So that was my full day of eating today. That's why I picked what I picked. And I will break down the foods I chose below, along with my calories and macros. And I'll break down the suggested high protein options for each of them below as well. If you guys like these videos, of like what foods I'd recommend, some high protein meal options and some lactose free options for the people who have lactose problems like myself, let me know, and that way I will keep making them for you.